Hello everyone. It is highly recommended that you study the material with the plan, if you have not yet, especially before you continue watching this video. In this video I will provide additional explanation to the objective number 1 and 2 from the plan video, and I will answer to the most frequently asked questions from the comment section. From this video you will also learn how we intend to earn money for the realization of further, more expensive projects. I will present in a clear and concise way how we will create this new economic block, an economic empire inside of the current system, which functions on a credit and is currently slowly dying. So this video will be long and I will be talking a lot. But if you are interested in understanding the mechanics behind certain projects in this operation, then I ask for your patience, because it will be worth it. I am always trying to keep track on the comment section under the videos where we explained the plan, to gain constructive feedback and to answer any questions. So we may even improve our plan presentation in the future. Some individuals are constantly asking the same repetitive questions, which were already answered in the script and in the videos with the plan, which looks to me like someone is mocking the plan, or perhaps even me specifically for reasons unknown to me. I guess it might be ignorance, or maybe there is a higher agenda behind this, to spread this information in my comment section and to confuse people. There are even some people using arguments like, you are nobody, you have nothing, you will never succeed, because you are arrogant, ignorant, and you don't sound like a leader. And asking me questions like, show me a farm stat, show me a game company, show me anything from the plan that is real and existing. So yes, it is either trolling me all the time, or they simply do not understand the explanation which was provided in the script or in the plan videos. Either way, I am making this video to explain objective 1 and 2 from the plan to the audience by being more precise, to help people understand what our situation is right now, what we must do at the first stages, and I will explain the relations of mentioned objectives to our future projects and our future objectives. This video will clarify my actions, intentions, and ideas. Before we proceed, please be aware that there is no realistic alternative solution which I am aware of. Here are solutions which I have heard of and which I have addressed and debunked in my videos. Political solution. I do consider this one as impossible, and the video with an explanation why is linked in the description below. Next one, civil conflict, so to speak, is an impossible solution. I think it's suicidal and it will not work, and is often promoted by bad actors. A video debunking this approach is also linked in the description below. And worth to mention to this one, proprietarianism. Some people are suggesting this as a solution in my comment section, as the only true solution, but since it's very related to the civil conflict scenario, then I may say in advance that there is no realistic way of introducing it on its own after the collapse or after the civil conflict anyway. And no worries, because in a week or two we will publish a video dedicated to proprietarianism only, where I will be explaining why it is not a realistic solution. Another solution which is being often promoted is all about encouraging our people to make babies on command. Naturally, it's not a functional solution and it will not work, and even if it were possible, it would take over 20 years to bring any effects, and we do not have that much time left. And also, don't forget that demographics, the demographic gap is already created. So it's just too late for that. My video with details about this subject is linked in the description below. Note please that this isn't to say that you should not have kids, but simply that we are not going to red pill a huge amount of European people into having many kids. It is simply to say that this is alone will not be a viable solution. People will not start making babies just because someone tells them to. It's completely not applicable in a realistic way. Another one was prepping. The most reasonable choice of all desperate attempts to somehow prepare for the future, but in the long run, it's a pure improvisation in terms of strategy, which does not secure the future for your children, nor preservation of our civilization. It may even be good to prepare for the worst just in case, but prepping is not a viable solution for the majority of our people. Next one, planning anything in conspiracy, of which success depends on secrecy, while you are doing this through internet. Consider such an approach as a failure from the start, because there is no possibility to communicate or exchange materials in secret through the internet. And there is also a video dedicated to this subject only in the description below. So if you disagree with my claims here, and just go and watch my videos about those subjects and provide arguments explaining why you disagree, or share any other alternative solutions in the comment section below. Now let's analyze our plan from the start. First, I came up with the plan. Before I went to public with this plan, for around 6 months I was doing preparations just in case something bad happens to me while we will be working over the realization of this plan. I had to make insurance just in case, to be sure that the operation will stay in motion, even if I won't be among the living anymore. Later I opened my YouTube channel, and when I published the first videos with all the information about how we may work together to secure the future survival of our Western people, I know it will attract the attention of the most concerned people who will get in contact with me and help me to form my team. The results were not amazing because I had a very limited range in searching people on the internet, but it was sufficient enough to assemble a good team of people with different talents and possibilities. And I am still trying to discover even more people who are willing to contribute with their talents, skills, and intelligence into saving our future. Oh, and by the way, we especially need people who are good with presenting information. Voice actors, well-spoken people with charisma, graphic designers. Someone with the drawing skills would be nice. Animators, video editors, even more programmers, and other people who are willing to devote some of their free time to work with us and help us in any possible way. So, as it stands for today, we have a functional and a good team, so we are more or less prepared and organized. And how does this apply to the first objective? The first objective is to inform people who are already aware and concerned about our current situation in the Western world, that a solution exists, and unite them over the realization of this plan. So how do we intend to do that? We have a starting team, which I call the leading team. Further in this video you will understand why I call it this way. And we need to assemble people fast, without wasting time, those so-called legions of supporters, as I used to say. First, I tell teammates and subscribers of our channel to spread the word about this operation, this plan, everywhere where there could be people who are searching for a solution for our major problems in the Western world. This is how we grew our channel audience to a few hundred subscribers. With a few hundred people who show interest and support to our channel, our plan, we may officially address other bigger YouTubers who already have a solid base of subscribers. We are all on the same boat, and we will end up at the bottom if we don't do something to save ourselves. And if I have a realistic solution to save our future, which I need to present to people from all over the world by using the fastest possible strategy, which means if we want to assemble aware people around this operation fast, we must address those who they listen to and whom they trust as reliable source of information. I hope this is understandable so far. So, from our small channel at the start, I am producing appeal to reason videos, which are dedicated to other YouTubers with their own base of supporters, where I am telling them about this solution, and either to debunk this plan, provide a better solution, or declare their support. Since they are officially on our side and they claim to care for our people and for our future, and if they are reasonable people who want to help us become stronger and to secure our future, then they are obliged by reason itself to consider what I propose and respond. If any of them ignore us or refuse to help without a good reason, I will call them for it. Because to increase our chances of success in the future, I need to unite as many possible aware people from all over the world around the realization of this operation. And if someone refuses to help me with this task without good reason, then he is damaging the operation by weakening our side and decreasing our chances of success, preventing us from uniting and creating this force which might be capable of reshaping this world, this current corrupt world system. And I cannot let anyone who divide us or mislead our people to get away with this. So I must expose them or attack them. But if I am wrong about this plan and they are right, then they will have no troubles to defend themselves. So it's completely fair and justified for me to be aggressive. I just do what I must to succeed with organizing this operation and to save our future, the future for all our people from all over the world. I do not pick one nation or a small local group which I want to help. This plan aims to help all of us, to all those who want to secure their future in this world. And it doesn't matter if you are from North America, Europe, Australia, or even from the Republic of South Africa. This operation may help all of us. So I am sure this completely justifies my actions toward anyone else who will stand in the way of uniting our people. This is very simplified explanation of the process, which I explained even with more details in the plan video. So starting from my channel, I target other YouTubers with between 5,000 up to 10,000 subscribers first. I am assembling those smaller channels in order to put pressure later on the bigger channels. And I also recruit them to monitor and support the realization of this operation. A list about what I am requesting and offering to those YouTubers is linked in the description below this video, so anybody may read about the conditions of cooperation which I offer to all of them. So I guess everybody agrees that if we want to inform and unite people around this operation, then this type of approach, this strategy is the best way to reach our people from all over the world and to accomplish objective 1 as fast as possible. We are transparent with the plan, with what we do, and the best of everything that anyone has presented to us in the past 10 years. And it's about our entire future. While time is essential for the success of this operation. So I do have every right to address anyone out there who officially is on our side and ask them for help in informing people about our existence. If anyone disagrees with my logic here and has any better ideas, please share them in the comment section below. Also, with the help of people, we will use all available social media platforms to spread the word even faster and inform other people about our movement here. So, this is how we are assembling those so-called legions of supporters for this operation. And those who decided to refuse to help or ignore us after we have asked them to help us, and don't give a solid objection or reason, will be called out for it, exposed either as incompetent or treacherous, which is characteristic of controlled opposition, because such actions are cruelly dividing us to keep us weak and disorganized, which means we cannot create this united force which is capable of shaping this world, as I mentioned before. And I repeat again, what we are organizing here, this plan, is the only realistic solution available. There is not any solid alternative that I am aware of. And all other possible alternatives which I have heard about, I have debunked already in my videos dedicated to those pseudo-solutions. So, let's say we assemble those thousands of aware people from all over the world who share our concerns about the future and who want to do something about it. Now we proceed to objective 2, and I quote, "The second objective is about the creation of a power structure and organization for the coordination of our actions. We need to start forming large, organized, like-minded communities, starting with connections made over the internet. At this objective, I will decentralize the power structure to secure our functionality in this system and improve security for the realization of this operation. First, from among our most devoted and competent supporters from all over the world, who have potential and the will to struggle for our future by working with our team, I will evaluate, recruit, and educate, with the help of my current team, people who are able to take leading positions and create independent organizational and representative cells all over the world in their own countries. They will respect the authority of the leading team, but also will be able to act independently and be ready to start creating their own inner organization, similar to our leading team for the realization of this operation in their own countries, for their own our countrymen who might not speak the English language. In the case that something happens to the leading team, they will be able to take over the lead and the leading team responsibilities by following pre-prepared chain of command. They will also be able to recreate, shut down leading cell by doing exactly what I am about to do, by decentralizing the power structure into those independent organizational cells. Everything will be done under my personal guidance, leadership and coordination with the leading members of those independent organizational cells to improve our future cooperation and organization, which will become complex with time, with much more people involved into working for the realization of this operation. Obviously, everything we do or decide will be shared with all the supporters from this operation at the time hopefully already by Polstrat platform, which I explained in the planned video. So, what is organizational cell exactly? It is a group of people recruited from the members of the leading team who speak certain languages and who have proper skills to function independently in their own national arena, as our leading team does, but on a global scale. So our leading team is international, but those organizational cells, they will be focusing on their activity in their own countries, more or less. Of course, communication in English of the leading team members from the organizational cells is mandatory to communicate internationally, especially with our leading team, which is at the top of the chain of command. Even if they will have their own teams to create, they still will be present in the leading team as members. At the start, they will be doing what we do now. They will create their own YouTube channels and establish a base of operation and communication on the internet to address and assemble aware people from their own countries around this operation. They will remake and re-upload my videos with a translation to their own native language, which is used in their own country. They will be assembling aware people from their own country in their channel, and they will become, in the future, our operational representatives in their country, responsible for establishing anything which we may need in that specific country in the future. And obviously we will strictly cooperate internationally for the success of the whole operation by respecting the predesigned chain of command. The chain of command will naturally set the leading team at the top, where coordination with the leaders from all organizational cells will be established. If the leading team somehow gets shut down, the organizational cell number 02 will become the new leading team, taking all the duties and responsibilities from the leading team 01. When the leading team 01 is not viable and the leading team 02 takes the new leading role in the organization, its main tasks will be to re-establish the leading team 01 as fast as possible. Obviously, entire inner organization and the chain of command will be much more complex, but more about that in the future. Another important function of this decentralized power structure is to make sure that anybody who will try to target us in any way illegally will be exposed for that. Let's say the key team members in the leading team 01 are being attacked by authorities of some country in Europe. Then all the other organizational cells from all over the world will announce it and make as much noise about it by their own channels and by the support of the social media. we do not leave our people behind or on their own in the times of any crisis or any attack. Mutual support and cooperation will be established, where we will be watching out for each other no matter what the situation is. One for all and all for one, as they say. This is one of the main reasons why we assemble people first around this operation, instead of starting with some project which will be exposed in case of an attack without sufficient support to defend it in the case of unexpected situations. This simple system should keep us safe and fully operational in case of any pseudo-legal or illegal attack on an organization or our members. With an international range, we will be able to make people rage and strike back by our media at anyone who dares to do that without a legitimate reason. Which means if anyone will try to attack anyway at our peaceful and completely legal operation without a good reason, then he will be exposed for it, and people all over the world will be informed very quick about it. We will cooperate globally, and that's also how we will counterattack at anyone who dares to attack us. And I am sure you have noticed that on the map for our operation, which aims to secure the future of the West and the future of people with European origins, I also included Japan, South Korea, and other countries, which are currently not part of our Western world or our Western nations. The reason behind this is because I am more than willing to help and cooperate with non-European nations. If we share mutual values, principles, and if we do not mutilate newborn babies or torture animals because of some crazy religions, cultures, and their rituals. And I assure you that Japan, South Korea, and many others share the same or similar problems as we do in the West. And they also suffer because of that international, private, corrupt banking system and its masters. They have relative peace for now, because they are not the main target in the eyes of those who wish to destroy our Western nations. And my policy when it comes to our people is that we should live in peace in the lands of our ancestors, the same as I wish all those other nations will have same peaceful and happy life in the lands of their ancestors. They also have nationalists, people who stand for reason and logic, and who care about their culture, heritage, and I will support them with what we have in this struggle for the independence of our nations, just as I am expecting them to support us. We will all benefit from this cooperation on equal terms. After all, they will be using platforms created by us to organize and later to create this new alternative economic bloc, which I spoke of in the plan. At the same time, when we will start creating this decentralized power structure for our organization, we should also start establishing objective number 3, which is about the Polstrat and Strat platforms. You may have already learned about the Polstrat structure from the video linked in the description below. The old name of this project was Polyword. But, in general, this is so-called control panel for our organization will secure our communication, and it will become our central platform for all major operations on the internet, which are part of objective number 3. and I read: Third objective. We must secure our means of communication, bypass restrictions of internet censorship, especially in Europe, to create independent and trustworthy platforms to exchange information, news, important intel, and focus the attention and activity of the aware people on those platforms, onto those alternative internet infrastructure, which will grant us absolute freedom of speech and security for organizational purposes. The details about this project are in the video with the plan, and also linked in the description below. The Polstrat project has a feature called Polstrat National Budget, and this feature will grant our independent organizational cells all over the world to even become financially independent. And now our diamond mine comes up, which is to secure our financial stability and self-sufficiency. The TradeStrat project. As I have explained in the plan, TradeStrat cannot function without its twin brother, the Polstrat project. But now please notice the potential of TradeStrat as an international trade portal with its own currency and the creation of this new alternative economic bloc, which may grow out of it. If we create those independent organizational cells, of our operation in all the major countries in the west and east of our globe, and then we will start introducing an internationally accepted currency at this international trade market in all those countries, on the local trade markets over there. Now do you understand the economic potential from the creation of such well-grounded economic bloc? All those organizational independent cells which will be established at Objective 2 will now be working all together to establish and integrate and support our further projects from the plan list into the system in their own countries. Those independent cells who will assemble supporters in their own countries for this operation, businessmen, farmers, and trusted customers, base of customers, they will all form and become a part of the TradeStrat project, which means we will start applying a new economic system globally thanks to the coordination performed on the Polstrat and the TradeStrat platforms. If we do this right, if we organize enough aware people from all the countries in the West, East, and even South, then at the start of the TradeStrat project we will have dozens of markets operating locally in those countries by using our currency, our base of like-minded business partners, farmers, customers. Those groups will start forming the first true and strong local communities of like-minded people all over the world, which will form this new unsinkable ship of which the current dying system won't be able to oppose. More, with time, our system, this new alternative economic bloc, will become attractive for people whom we consider unaware today. And I will explain why in just a moment. It's hard to predict how successful those independent cells will be in assembling supporters in their own countries, their fellow countrymen over this operation. But our propaganda at time should have the sufficient range needed to reach those who do not necessarily share the views of our agenda or ideology, but still they will quickly notice the economic potential of our operation, where so many people from all over the world are involved. So what is so special about our planet cryptocurrency and our TradeStrat, our trade market, which will form this new economic bloc? It will be a currency and market ideologically supported by our aware people. So it will be the first main motivation as to why people should use it, because the use of this currency is an investment into operation which aims to secure their future, a currency for an economy which will have an impact on our self-preservation in the future, and even the preservation of your wealth. And obviously it will be open opposition, or more like a competition, to the current international banking and economic system, which is functioning on a credit, and with time will just collapse. It will be a debt-free economy, supported by real goods provided to our market by like-minded business partners, farmers, and accepted in international trade by our market, where we will use our own currency to exchange goods. This currency will be regulated by our market, which means it will be a currency resistant to inflation from the outside or any economic struggles of your country, a trustworthy and a reliable means of exchange. It will be the only cryptocurrency in the world which will obtain a physical form in case of possible system collapse. So it's the best insurance and means of preservation of your wealth in case of a worst case scenario, as I explained this based on the concept of the Polstrat project in the plan video part 7, which means it will be extremely attractive investment for outsiders. This new economy, with its own market infrastructure and our future like-minded business partners, will be a very attractive place for investment for anyone who wishes to preserve his wealth, especially in hard times of economic crisis ahead. So, in first place, it will serve our people to maintain trade and preserve their wealth in the long run. It will reinforce the position, influence and possibilities of our international corporation and the realization of further more expensive projects, which I have explained in the video with the plan. Which means, mostly thanks to our corporation, it will be a very attractive market even for outsiders to invest into, because it's not only aware people who see the obvious problems with the current world economy and banking system. People will struggle from one crisis to another until the current world economy will collapse one day. Inflation will destroy people's savings and even their lives, while on our market we will be resistant to that. And even in the worst times of crisis, you will still be able to use services or purchase products from like-minded farmers, local farmers and business owners, while paying for it with our own currency. And people will be able to pay with this currency not only locally on specific local markets, areas in their countries, but globally. You may go to Japan or Norway and you will still pay for bread or butter the same price as you would pay for it in your own country. Our market will be resistant to speculations, and we will pay equally for the same type of work or product as you would pay in your own country. We will build the first debt-free economic model in the modern world, where even if in the future there will be loans, nobody will be paying any interest out of it. They will be it's not civilized. I mentioned a constitution of civilized society. There will definitely be a rule where loans on interest are not considered as civilized. So I'm just saying this in advance. And this whole new market will be regulated and controlled by the Polstrat platform and our international leading team, which will operate under the formal jurisdiction of that corporation. And we will make sure that all regulations and decisions are completely transparent with the Polstrat users, customers, business partners, and the supporters according to my full transparency policy, which means our market won't be shady and will prevent any tricks or manipulation. This will be the first world market worthy of our trust for the regular clients and for the business owners and producers who will want to use our services and operate in this new economic bloc. By applying this strategy, we will legally break the monopoly of international banking and the economic system, providing an alternative for smart and responsible people who want to secure their future or possibly save their own countries. So yes, I just explained how we may liberate ourselves or possibly our countries from the current endless debt slavery system, which we are forced to operate in today. At this moment, I really advise everyone to combine this information with what I have explained before in the videos with the plan. This is true power of the Polstrat project. This is one of the key elements to the building and securing our future. Thanks to the Polstrat and Polstrat projects, our corporation will grow quickly to corporations such as the one responsible for Amazon, Alibaba, PayPal, and other similar giants, with potential to even grow comparable to them in size and profits because our operation will be organized internationally. Our cryptocurrency, backed by a real-world economy and a trusted base of users, will overthrow Bitcoin and take the leading position on the crypto market. For those familiar with trade and economics, it's not very difficult to predict the profits and size of our future budget, which will allow us to cover the cost of every other project mentioned in the plan. At a certain stage of this operation, we will be able to start up a few farmstads at once in many different countries, all over the world. Thanks to this type of organization, the realization of this plan, and thanks to those projects, we should be able to afford first farmstead project in nearest few years and accomplish the realization of the entire plan in nearest 20 years. And please remember that there are emergency plans in case if we don't make it on time with the realization of all the projects from the plan, because let's say something unexpected happens sooner than expected. Reaching objective 5 is critical to being sufficiently prepared for whatever future holds for us. And if something happens much sooner than expected, then we will improvise with what we have. But let's do our best to build and accomplish as much as possible from the plan, as fast as possible. I mean, it's the only chance we have if we want to secure our future in this world, or possibly even liberate our countries. There will be groups of interests who will want to invest into this operation for their own benefit and possibly for special privileges, ignoring the interest of all our people from all over the world. In advance, I must inform such groups or people that there won't be any deals of this kind on my watch. No deals under the table. Our acceptance of any major investment from outside will be shared with the public, just as the conditions discussed in the stage of the negotiations for any large major financial investment into this operation. There is nothing free in this world, so I'm sure we won't have many guardian angels willing to invest without asking for anything specific in return, but no investors will be able to purchase for themselves or any privilege or position in our organization. Everyone may invest on equal terms, and I am expecting the main reason of such investment to be concerned about the future of our people in this world. This operation is made for all of us, to help us save ourselves, to become strong, organized, and to preserve our civilized way of life, no matter what the future holds for us. Obviously, there will be groups of people for whom this operation is a threat, or at least an open opposition. For example, those which I call the international ruling class, and they will possibly try to oppose the creation of this corporation and the realization of this plan. So for those who might want to physically deal with me to prevent the fast progression of this operation, as I stated before, you cannot stop this process. It's an idea which I have already shared openly on the internet. And as I said, even without me, I have made insurances which will definitely backfire on anyone who will decide to attack this operation or the leading team members in any illegal way. Also, please note, with me, you may reason. With those who are authorized by me to take over and lead this operation, if anything happens to me, you cannot. They will be driven in their actions, or more guided, in their actions and leadership by vengeance. So forget trying to reason with those who will continue in the realization of this operation, if I will not be among the living anymore. I will not back off, nor will they, and there will not be any deals or compromises to make if something bad happens to me. And hundreds of thousands of people who I am organizing all of this will know exactly what happened to me. And in advance, I do not have any suicidal tendencies, nor is my job high risk anyhow. Just saying, for a record. So I am fully aware some people might be eager to hunt me down, or to threaten me, and as it stands, it's just a matter of time before someone will openly publish who I am. So really, I am not concerned about any of this. I just want the best for our people, for our future in this world. Same as my grandfather wanted. And I will not back off no matter what. And I want fair and peaceful relations with everybody who truly mean no harm to any people or civilization. We just want a future and safety for our families and our children in this world. No Western government provides any of that to us today, and we see clearly what people are responsible for pushing this destructive agenda on our Western world. With us the true will prevail. So will our people and hopefully our nations. Before I will proceed to the last part of this video, I have additional information here about the leading team and the organizational independent cells which will be created for the realization of this operation. The leadership position of the leading team must be respected. The integrality of the organization and movement structure must be preserved no matter what. We cannot start dividing the group and weakening our side. Any rebellious attitudes or attempts of independent cells to break loose from the organization must be stopped at the start and seen as heresy when it comes to the interest of our people. If any leading members or leaders of independent cell have any issues with the leading team's ideas, decisions, and with any instructions from the top, they are free to criticize new ideas and attempt to discuss those problematic ideas in front of the public, exposing any incompetence, stupidity, or irrationality of such decisions from the top. If reasoning with the leading members at the top will not work because it will face ignorance or disagreements without proper argumentation, then the independent cell leaders can publish all the information transparently on the Polstrat platform and also address the wider public on those issues, exposing whatever needs to be exposed. A full transparency with the wide public access and opinions are the best way to judge and monitor our actions. But they must have a clear view on what we do or what we intend to do, and that's why I designed the Polstrat platform. Discussing issues in front of the public is the only way to resolve problematic conflicts between the leading team members or leaders of the independent cells if they start acting irrational in any way or against the interest of our people. So now let's proceed to the Q&A from the comments section. A question: why do you want to assemble people first instead of creating the project Polstrat and then assemble people around it? There are a few reasons for this, which I have already explained in the plan videos itself, but I will clarify them for the convenience of the listeners. First reason: it's because we need people to have our back, to hold our back. I have stated this many times in my videos, and it's because of security reasons. Because if we set up our platform first without proper support from the people coming from outside, our platform is vulnerable to all sorts of attacks or sabotage. The possibility even exists that it would end up dominated and hijacked by the people from the left. Also, don't forget that those who oppose this operation can perform many different legal attacks or illegal ones, which without mass support of the people from all over the world might successfully destroy us, since we won't be able to oppose those attacks alone. Second reason is because we need this platform to become this centralized point of our activity and not another echo chamber, so it must be public and official, with the people waiting and ready to start operating on this platform. A premiere must be public. The third reason is because we will still need to recruit aware people with skills, knowledge, possibilities and more. As I explained already, what we will need the most of all to consult the structure of Polstrat platform are lawyers from many different countries and continents. We will need to find those like-minded people and individually consult with them specific Polstrat and TradeStrat mechanics while designing them for specific countries, which might be illegal in certain countries, and in order to make them legal, we will have to perform little modifications. If anyone watched our video about Polstrat platform, then you should have already know that the structure of the platform will be different, will have different custom designs for certain countries, especially where specific website features might have problems with specific country laws or regulations. So all those features must be consulted with many lawyers in the process, and I hope like-minded lawyers from those countries will join our leading team and help us to make proper decisions about what should be where and in what country. The fourth reason is because Polstrat and TradeStrat are like twins, which must be created, maintained and operate under the jurisdiction of a one business company in a specific country, a legal registered business institution to offer us additional protection and privilege according to the laws and regulation of a country where they will be launched, and thanks to additional privileges offered by the regulations of the European Union. And the fifth reason, as you should already know, this legal business company, which we will use as a cover-up business for the development and maintenance of the Polstrat and TradeStrat projects, is a game company. Officially, it will be developing red-pilling games to educate younger people. But games are only a side project, a side product, because the main projects are the Polstrat and TradeStrat platform. And all of this costs money, and we are not able to afford setting all of this up alone. And obviously we will need financial support at start to start this all up, from the people from outside, from those who want to invest into something that might actually save their lives in the future, or what they might profit from, as I explained it before, why talking about the TradeStart platform. So now we will jump to another question, which I seen somewhere in the comment on BitChute. Question: how do you plan to afford all the projects in this operation? As I explained this and illustrated on the roadmap in the plan video, more expensive projects will be set up after we obtain financial self-sufficiency and stability thanks to the TradeStart project, which I already explained also in this video. The same value and potential of the project on the open market. So when we stabilize TradeStart position on the world market, then we should easily afford all the remaining projects from the plan. But about the game company, which is responsible for the development and maintenance of the Polstrat and TradeStart projects, those must be crowdfunded, since we cannot afford doing this alone. Already in the plan video, I have stated that fully sufficient funding of around 20,000 a month would allow us to go full speed with the development and progress with the realization of the first 3 projects from the plan, which is Game Company, Polstrat, TradeStrat. Still, it's the amount which would allow us to go full speed with the development, which means we can improvise with much less than that. And a few notes about this issue with crowdfunding at the start of this operation for all of us. Everybody wants something to help our people to secure our future, but when it comes to the subject of money, people are like allergic to this matter. Even if everything we did so far and what we intend to do ahead is costly. We pay with our own time, resources, money, but we will need help soon enough. And I could understand if someone from the supporters of this operation would have doubts about what we need those money for or how to spend it. But we have full transparency with what we do or what we intend to do, and I stating even in the plan video that we also will have full transparency with our team's spendings and finances, with our budget. So if public money gets involved, everyone will be able to monitor our spendings to be sure that we are not wasting anything. Also, there is nothing that we can do for free in this world, and as it stands today with the current leading team, we do not have the budget to afford any major investment. Based on our current situation and opportunity which this plan presents for all of us and our future, I do consider this completely justified to ask people from outside for voluntarily financial support for the realization of this operation. Feel free to state any objections in the comments, all alternative suggestions. But as I also explained it in the plan video, we cannot accept any direct investment for realization of this operation from like investment companies or possibly bank. We cannot do any of that. It's a red light. And it's also explained in the plan why. The opportunity exists that some wealthy, right-minded people will hear about this operation and get involved. And they will appreciate what we do here for all of us. And they will have enough to spare and provide to help us speed up with the operation. It's one of reasons why we need range to reach as many people possible. After all, our infrastructure and especially the TradeStart platform, this new economic block will also serve to profit their businesses and preserve their personal wealth, so it's in their best interest to invest into realization of this operation. And it's not that they are going to take their gold, villas and fruits of their work to their coffin with them when the time will come, but I'm sure that their children won't be happy about world in which they will be forced to live in if we will fail with this operation. And one more thing. I stated that we will need 20,000 monthly to move full speed with the realization of first 3 projects from the plan, while at the same time there is, for example, a transitioning leftist philosopher here on YouTube who gets around 1 million monthly from Patreon thanks to his supporters, and this person is cosplaying on the screen, dressed bizarrely, and while cosplaying he is sharing some wisdom about life to the mass audience. Or a cam girl from UK who just show herself in front of the camera and gets around 250,000 monthly from acting like a you know what. And those are just 2 examples from many. So if we fail to obtain a sufficient budget for the realization of this operation, if we fail to accomplish first 3 objectives on time, then our people clearly do not take things seriously. And maybe we are not worth of saving if we fail to combine a little of our resources from many of our supporters from all over the world in order to survive. In contrast to those crazies from the left, who support each other generously, so no wonder they are winning so far with regards to their real-life activity. Next question. Why do we need the other projects from the plan, for example the robotic company? As I have stated in the plan, every project from the list has a dual purpose. The robotic company is more or less explained in the plan as project number 4, but I couldn't talk in public about the details because of legal reasons. Still, if you are interested in details, feel free to join our public Discord or work group, or wait for our website to learn more. YouTube is really not a platform where I may explain the true purpose of the constructions reserved for the robotic company, but in general, it's related to our public security in the future, especially in relation to Polstrat project. Next question, or more like a claim. You have nothing, you are nobody, and people won't follow a nobody. Well, it's up to people if they will choose the path of reason, or if they prefer to entertain themselves, enjoying listening to pretty bad empty talk and good actors, wasting precious time while the West is dying. Alright, now we just need to inform people who share our concerns about the future that the solution exists, and unite them over the realization of this operation, or none of us will have a future in this world. The choice is simple. As I said, I am expecting responsible and aware people to act reasonable. So continue crying, whining and wasting time, or take it seriously and help us in realization of this operation. Next question. Who are you? You are shady. You came out of nowhere. Why should we trust you? First of all, I am not shady at all. After all, I employ a policy of full transparency for the realization of this operation. Also, people in the work group already know who I am, what I do, and I was active planning and preparing this plan for years, and even today you can find traces of me all over the internet and about my activity. Also, people in the work group know my history. They have seen what I look like. Some have my full name, my addresses for emergency communication just in case. So I am definitely not anymore shady. than the majority of the YouTubers who pose as our guys today, who show face, alright? And that's the reason valid for most of you to trust them. Orel is actually my second or middle name. I am 33 years old. This year I will be 34. I live near a small village in southern Poland, but in fact in middle of nowhere, and I work at the local lumber mill as a mechanic and a machinery operator. My specialization is robotic and autonomous constructions engineering, but I was never officially working in what I specialize in. I do not show myself in the videos because I do not want to be recognized by my coworkers, locals, or possibly lose the job, so I guess that information is sufficient enough for now to satisfy the curiosity of the general public. A question. What is the logistic company? Project number 5. In simple terms, spedition company, transport company, or more like a union of like-minded already existing transport companies which we will prioritize the services of for further development and efficiency for our economic bloc, especially our Polstrat project. So we will either assemble already existing transport companies which are owned by aware business owners, or we will start a new one in Europe, North America, Australia and New Zealand, with possible extension to Japan and South Korea. And worth to mention, yes, we already have 2 Asians in our leading team, just for information. Question. What makes you think our people are smart enough to appreciate, unite and use this plan for our benefit? As I mentioned it in some other video of mine, I have every reason to believe that among the aware people are the most intelligent, brightest and the most creative people on this planet today. This is the greatest strength which our people possess, but it has its weaknesses, which did always backfire at us over the course of history until today. With intelligence comes pride, arrogance and ego, which means every single one of us passively thinks or feels that he knows better than the other. We have issues admitting and helping those who are more intelligent than us. So our ancestors often had to submit and unite the group by imposing force on those who were not up to listening to a reason, and instead they couldn't give up on their stance because of their own personal ego. So we have often waged wars and failed to unite on a mass scale. What is happening today, this operation, is a natural outcome to the oppression and destruction of our people in this world. Those who rule this world today are not necessarily super intelligent, but they are able to understand and know their place in their society, which means they are able to effectively cooperate while being united in a large number on international level. They enslaved our nations, they control this world today, but with their oppression, they move it too far. And as I have said, if you oppress European man, you provoke him plot ideas to revolt against your oppression. Since we have the brightest and the most creative, aware people on this planet, we were always able to find solutions through the history and resist, and in the most critical times and situations, we were able to unite and rise, as I intend to organize this now. Because what is happening in our Western world, with our Western countries, with our people, is just too much to bear anymore. So, let's just do what our ancestors did in the past with tyrants. Let's unite, organize, and let's show them what we are capable of. I have every reason to think and believe there is enough aware and intelligent people who can do this with us. But the only way to tell is to wait and see. How will people react when we will inform them about this plan and this opportunity to make a stand for our future? You have me, you have our leading team, which is only growing, a bunch of guys and girls with different skills and specializations trying to do their best to help us all succeed. They sacrifice their own time, energy, nerves. They are the ones exposing themselves to the risk willingly, just for sake of our future. So, show your appreciation and understanding, but don't expect that we have enough power, influence and resources on our own in order to wage and win this struggle for our civilization and for our people. If we, with this plan, are doing this for all of us, then you must have our back. Do not leave us alone in the realization of this operation. And as I have requested before, if you have skills and time, then join our leading team. We all must do our part. We all must work for our future. And we all must be a community of strong will and sacrifice. I know it's hard those days, but we can do this. Thanks to all of that, we will build and secure our future. When you're helping us in this operation, you are helping yourself and your family. So, I think those are all the questions which been frequently asked in the comment section. This is how we will create and grow fast this economic empire by having independent organizational cells all over the world doing what we're doing now here today. When Polstrat project will be set up, they will find and mobilize local aware business owners and customers from like-minded supporters to operate on our Polstrat and Polstrat platform, to operate on our market using our currencies. So, as you see, it won't be I won't be setting this economic block alone. We will do it all together through international cooperation, under guidance of the leading team for this operation. If there are any other questions which were not answered in this video, please ask them in the comment section below. And if you see someone posting in the comment section a question which was already answered in my videos, try to take initiative and answer with your own words if you are able, or if not, at least tell him to watch a certain video which we publish it, because I'm really trying to answer all the questions in advance, and most of the questions which are popping up in the comment sections are the questions which I already answered, and it's getting annoying and tiring for me to all over just address the same repetitive questions. Maybe some people are simply trolling me, maybe, but it's very tiring. Thank you for watching this video to the very end. And please don't take me wrong, don't hesitate to continue asking your questions. Just before you start asking, please consider studying the material first, not the other way around. Otherwise, it's just a mess. Alright then, see you all around.